Hey, what's up, guys? Cooley here. Got some Battlefield 4 gameplay for you today. I'm just going to kind of give my final thoughts on the beta now that I actually got to play it. You know, the first week or so, or first actually 10 days, was just unplayable for me on this game. I really did not get to play at all. The first day or two was spent looking at a loading screen. Every time I tried playing after that, I basically just got frustrated and turned the game off because it was performing so poorly. But then late last week, they put in that patch, and it pretty much fixed all the problems. The game ran really smooth after that. I wouldn't say it ran perfect, but it ran pretty damn good. And all the video you're going to see is on low settings. There was a tiny bit where I had medium settings on, but my frame rate was dipping just a little bit, and I wanted to get the best performance possible while recording during this beta, so I turned it back to low. And I could maintain 60 FPS pretty much while recording on low with my 570 and my i7, my old school i7. So that's good. You know, it's already fairly well optimized. I would expect the release to be a little bit more optimized as well. But over the next couple weeks, I will keep releasing more Battlefield 4 beta gameplay. I do have quite a bit saved up, even though I only got to play for a few days. I did spend, a couple hours a day playing the beta, so I wouldn't say I have any like really cool gameplay footage saved, but I do have enough to hopefully keep you guys content for a couple weeks until launch. So the first thing I want to talk about are the game modes that we got to see in beta. Conquest, I'm not going to spend any time talking about that. If you've ever played Battlefield, you know what that is. Domination, now some of you Battlefield vets may not have seen Domination in the DLC for Battlefield 3, so I'll explain that quickly. It's basically a much smaller infantry-only version of Conquest. Everything caps a lot faster. It's a lot faster paced. It's just played on a really small map. And I like this game mode. It's a nice, release maybe from playing Conquest or Rush or whatever. Sometimes when I'm playing those games, I get frustrated after a while just from running into so many vehicles. As somebody who prefers to play infantry, it's nice to get have a getaway from those game modes without having to play deathmatch. But the problem, I think, on the beta servers is that, as far as I know, they only had 32-player domination servers, and I think 32 players is too many players for this size of game. I think if you're playing domination, if you like this, I think it's much better if you have 16 to 24 players. So for you console guys out there, it's almost perfect. Actually, I don't remember if console gets 32 players, or I think maybe they do get 32 players now, but I do like Domination. I just think it's a lot better with 16 to 24 players as opposed to 32. And you're going to see in this video exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to see guys spawn behind me. You're going to see me spawn right behind guys. And that's pretty much the reason. It's just kind of a mess with 32 players. The other game mode we got to see in beta was Obliteration, and this is new to Battlefield 4. It's pretty straightforward. This has been used in other games. Basically, there is one neutral bomb that both teams share. You have to fight over the bomb, then take it to your enemy side of the map and destroy 3 bomb sites or objectives. I didn't get a good feel whether or not I like this game. I don't think Shanghai was a great map for this. I'd like to play this on something a little bit smaller. And I only got to play 2 full games of this, so I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other on this game mode. I do think this will be a little bit more fun if you're in a full squad, which can pretty much be said about any game mode. But one problem I did see in this is you would just have a lot of people not playing the objective at all. A lot of people would be on just the complete opposite side of the map for whatever reason, and then you'd have people pick up the bomb and not have any idea what they were actually doing with it, run right out in the middle of the open, and it's that's to be expected. It's a new game mode, and a lot of people don't really know what you're doing. So I would expect it to get better as time goes on. As far as the classes go, I spent most of my time playing Assault and Engineer. Engineer is probably what you're going to see me play most of when the game actually launches. It's just always been my favorite class in Battlefield. Now, I was really partial to Recon back in Bad Company 2 because they had C4, because they had motion balls, and both of those are back in Battlefield 4. But I am not a fan of the sniper rifles so far. Actually, the sniper rifles are okay. I am not a fan of that bullet trail. It's just god awful. It drives me absolutely nuts. So you might see me playing a lot of recon without sniper rifles. Now, since they did take away the C4 from support and gave it to recon, I was a little bit worried as to what they were going to give support in return, and they did a good job with that, giving them the XM25 Airburst. I feel that's a little more support oriented than C4 was, and I feel it's a really, really good tool. Actually, I think it's an amazing tool. The fact that you can counter snipe with this thing is just maybe a little bit silly, but you know, it also does take time to set up. It takes like 3 hits to kill somebody with this thing. So I'm not going to say it's overpowered or anything yet. I do think it's just really good. I'm glad they gave support something in return since they did take away C4. Now, Assault, I think Assault's still the best class in this game. I like the fact that you can actually heal yourself while running. The med pack changes, the revive changes are a little different. I haven't fully figured out the mechanic on revive. It doesn't seem like you can revive people multiple times. I'm not sure if there's just a delay in there or what. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I'm glad they kind of nerfed revives a little bit. They were a little out of hand in Battlefield 3, especially if you were somebody that played TDM or smaller game modes like that, where in TDM people would just run, full assault squads and just do revive trains, and it pretty much made every other class useless in Team Deathmatch. So I'm glad they made the changes there. As far as the guns go, just the overall feel was really good. I didn't get the chance to play with all the guns, but the ones I did, I really liked how they felt in your hands. And I think assault rifles were probably the best out of the bunch, which is pretty much expected. The Scar H was probably my favorite gun in the entire beta. You could get some really good range, and you just thing hit like a truck, which is also to be expected because it is a 308. But the sounds I think are better than Battlefield 3 so far. Not quite on the level of Bad Company 2. If you remember Bad Company 2, the weapon sounds were absolutely amazing in that game, and I think they took a step back in Battlefield 3, but I think they are a little bit better in Battlefield 4 so far. I don't have a complete picture on that yet either. Just a few other side notes while I wrap this up. The graphics were awesome. This entire video you're watching me play on low with maybe a little bit of medium snuck in there, and they still look pretty amazing. The only thing that looked bad is the dust cover. If you remember in the very first video I did for Battlefield 4, I thought it was a graphical glitch because I had no idea what it was. It just looked pretty horrendous on low. I'm guessing that looks a lot better on Ultra. I had no idea. I feel a little bit foolish now because I had no idea what it even was. But aside from that, the graphics look really good even on low. I can't wait to play this game in Ultra and bring you guys footage in 1080p. As far as Shanghai goes, just another quick note on Shanghai. I think this map is really freaking cool. At the same time, I think it's going to get really annoying with all the people on top of buildings. It's so frustrating chasing after a Dorito only to find out that it's on top of a building or on a different floor than you. And that happens the entire time you're playing on this map. Now, I do think this is going to be an incredible map for skilled chopper pilots. Because of all those buildings, you're going to be able to weave in and out and dodge missile locks or dodge missiles themselves. So I think once I start flying choppers regularly, I think this is going to be one of the funnest maps to play on. But I think for bad chopper pilots, you're probably going to end up in the side of those buildings more than you're actually going to be dodging missiles. So that's pretty much all I have as far as the beta goes. Like I said, I will continue to bring you more gameplay footage. I have some full games I'm going to upload. I'm going to upload some games, a little bit of squad gameplay, kind of a thrown together squad. I don't have any actual super serious mode or anything like that, but I do have some full games I'm going to upload, probably some without too much commentary in them, so you guys can get a good feel of how I play when I'm just playing with some friends or whatever. But as for now, that's pretty much all I have. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions or thoughts on what you'd like to see from me as far as Battlefield 4 is concerned. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all later.